Yo, what's going on, guys? It's Khaosity here, and welcome back to the channel. Alright, so Sonic X Shadow Generations gameplay has dropped, and it's been a couple days since it has dropped. You know, I've had plenty of time to look at it thoroughly and gather my thoughts, which is basically what this video is, me giving my thoughts on the level design of Sonic X Shadow Generations, because apparently there's been a huge debate with regards as to whether this game's level design is good or not, and the game is good, guys. Like, don't worry, okay? The game is good. Like, we got us a good game, alright? We got a good game on our hand. But before we get into the video, if you like the video, drop a like, and if you're new, consider subbing to the channel. We're on the road to 600. But without any further ado, let's go ahead and get straight into the video. Alright, so I really didn't know how to fucking structure this video, so I got a couple points here on my notepad that I'm gonna be going through, and it mostly covers everything that I actually want to talk about with regards to the game. So yeah, first things first. Alright, and this is basically the main reason as to why the level design isn't bad, okay? The Unleashed/Gens team, the people who worked on Gens back in the day, are back again for this game. That in itself is a W. Let's be honest, that in itself is a W. But with regards to actual level design, like, yeah, this game is better than Forces, like alternate paths, actual, you know, level design happening, momentum jumps. Like, there is actually substance in these levels, and that is so great to see. So like, let me just take a look here. Alright, I'm looking at Fidel's footage, by the way. I got VGC's footage on screen simply because I think they're the only ones who are actually able, or who actually have like captured footage on a capture card. So we're gonna be using their footage for the sake of video quality, but I'm looking at Fidel's footage to get, you know, my thoughts and my concerns out the way. But taking a look at the one and only level that was at the Summer Games Fest demo, the final arc level, like I said before, I'm using Fidel's footage. Taking a look, you start off on a rail, and literally 10 seconds into the stage, there's already an alternate path that I don't think a lot of people know about, okay? There's already a rail above the starting rail that you, if you can make the jump to, you can take to get some more rings or whatever, I don't know. But aside from that, straight path down to, you know, the first homing attack chain, where there is already another alternate path. There's variety within this stage. Like, if you take a look at Forces, like, let's take a look at Lost Valley. How many alternate paths does Lost Valley have? Well, if memory serves, one, where you run across that damn sand waterfall, and that's not even technically an alternate path, that's fucking automation. So already right off the bat, we got two alternate paths, not even 20 seconds into the level, that you can take. And then after that first homing attack chain, you know, you take the springs up, you get introduced to the wall running mechanic. Throughout the first part of the final arc stage, when you're actually in space, there are a multitude of green walls that you can wall run on, alright? And there's a whole bunch of them that are used for alternate paths within this stage, alright? The first one you see, you can take the green wall to go up to the right, or you can take the regular homing attack chain on the fucking, what do you call it, these asteroids? You can take the asteroid chain and then take the rail down to the main path again. So like, once again, you have plenty of options when playing this level. Plenty of options. And then moving past that, you know, you're back on the main path. You get some more wall running options. You can either go up to the right, or you can go up on the right side of the path, take that wall running, take another spring, that'll take you to the left side, which will then take you back to the main path. And then blah 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 blah, you do that, you get to, what do you call it, you get to the tube where nothing is happening, or if you're quick enough, you can homing attack the rail that's on top of the tube to take a quicker pathway. Again, options. Then after the rail tube section, you come to the first instance of chaos control within the level. Alright, Sonic Shadow Generations, or just Shadow Generations for short, you have chaos control abilities, right? And the main one that we have seen so far is the time stop ability. By using the time stop ability, you can quite literally create level design out of missiles. Alright, there's plenty of points in this level where there are missiles firing. You use the chaos control power, you stop the missiles, they then become a platform for you to run on, and they become an alternate pathway. There's even a point in this level, like when you get introduced to the chaos control ability, you have to use it. Like, I don't know how to say it, but it's like, that's like, that they're legit, they're forcing you to learn how to use the game's mechanics so you can then be good at the level. Like, that's really good game design. I gotta admit, that's really good game design. And then of course, after you played the level for a bit, like, they got some quick stepping sections in there as well. Also really great to see, especially after like the whole Frontiers fiasco with the quick step. Like, bro, the quick step is unusable in Frontiers, right? Like when you take a look at, like, let's say Sonic Unleashed and even Sonic Generations, like the quick step, it'll conform to whatever path you're on. Like, yeah, you have the quick step as a part of your arsenal, you can use it anytime, but then if there's like a specific quick step section, like that one bomb quick step section in Chemical Plant, when you're running up the hill before that first 2D section, the quick step is wider than it usually is if you were just to use it on its own. It's actually wider, like there's a spline or something, like I don't know, but in quick step sections, the quick step like automatically spaces itself out correctly, so you can actually, you know, run through the section with ease. You can't do that in Frontiers. Frontiers, like in all the sections in Frontiers where they expect you to use the quick step literally overshoots like the line of rings, which was really annoying, to be honest, in that game. But yeah, continuing through, you know, the level design, eventually you come to the first real cinematic portion of the level. All right, Shadow absolutely deflecting the shit out of this big ass missile. All right, some of the coolest shit I ever seen. In a minute, after that missile, you get introduced to a skydiving section, which, by the way, I noticed this when looking at the gameplay. The skydiving is like really fucking stiff in this game. Don't know why that would be, but I mean, it, like, and this is a nitpick, by the way, like, so don't kill me for this. This is a nitpick. This really doesn't matter, but the skydiving is really stiff in this game. I do not know why. When the skydiving is stiff in games, it takes away from that skydiving feeling of like falling through the air. So I mean, that's kind of annoying for me. Again, this is a nitpick for me. Like, this doesn't really matter in the grand scheme of things, but it's annoying to see, low key. But after the skydiving, you know, you go down this long hallway, but it's not a blank long hallway. Like, this isn't Forces, people. There's actual level design here. There's upper pathways, there's obstacles you gotta dodge, like there's laser gates, there's enemies, like there's you have to do shit to make it through this hallway. You can't just hold the boost button or freaking air boost over all the fucking level design, right? Like, you can't do that. But after that hallway, again, more alternate paths. You can either go to the left and go up the tube, and then, you know, you get into that big ass room at the very bottom, or if you use the homing attack, right, which technically isn't a homing attack, you actually teleport, which is why you can go through those laser gates when homing attacking. You're not actually touching the gates. But there is another alternate path that you can take after, you know, going through that hallway. Like I said, you can either go to the left and up the tube, or you can homing attack the little doodad, go through the orange hoop, and take the upper pathway, which will bring you higher in the room and more to the right. Like, cause, and this, you know, this goes into the next point of level design, like the big ass room, right? The big ass room with literally like 3 or 4 different pathways that you can take, that you can traverse to get through the room. I love that shit so much. That shit made my day when I first watched this gameplay. This big ass room low-key made my day. You would never see some shit like this in Forces, ever. Well, no, you technically do see something like this in Forces. Mortar Canyon. The only problem is fucking they put a damn ramp that you can just boost across and skip the entire damn room. That you can skip the entire just portion of level design by taking the middle path and going off that ramp. Bro, Forces pisses me off so much. Hold up. But anyway, after you go through the big room, you know, you make your way through that. There's a whole bunch of rails with, again, alternating pathways, alternating rails that you can take. It's not just one rail. And then you get to the transitional point of the stage where, you know, you link up with Black Doom and then you start chasing him. Which, by the way, is why the second half of the level, like the city part, the Radical Highway part, that's why that part of the level has like way less level design. I'm pretty sure that portion of the level is like a chase sequence to Black Doom, because like it's mostly straight lines, mostly, you know, empty pathways, a couple enemies here and there, mostly just straight up rails, you know. And then eventually you catch up to Black Doom, you do the little homing attack thing, you homing attack Black Doom, and then you skydive, go to the gold ring. That's the end of the level. So the Radical Highway portion of the stage isn't worse in level design. It's simply just like a chase sequence, all right? And I can understand that. I completely understand that. And that basically does it for, you know, the new level, the final arc level. That basically does it for everything in that stage. And I guess I can kind of understand where some people are coming from, where they say like it's kind of like Forces. Like, yeah, it's like it's still mostly blocky, like these straight lines, or just the level design in general was just like a whole bunch of straight blocks, which is a problem of Forces, I gotta admit. And the alternate pathways kind of not being alternate pathways because, you know, they don't really go off and do their own thing. They only last about a couple seconds, 2-3 seconds at the most, and then they instantly link up with the main path again. Like, these are all points that I can completely understand, but the difference is that there are still hazards, there are still enemies, there are still obstacles on these paths that you have to account for. Not to mention the absolute sheer number of alternate paths that you can take in just the first portion of the stage. There's an absurd amount of alternate paths that you can take. So like I said, the variety and the replayability for the level like makes up for what you guys would consider to be, you know, Forces shit. It makes up for it. Forces didn't have substance. Forces didn't have obstacles or enemies that you had to, you know, slow down and fight. There was none of that in Forces. All right, so this game has actual level design, you know, obstacles, enemies, and shit. A great number of alternate pathways, which makes replayability like really high. And then on top of that, the game, like, just the fucking jump in quality from Frontiers is insane, bruh. The HUD, the animation, the cinematics during the level, like, bro, the jump in quality is crazy. Not to mention, you have chaos control mechanics here, so like, you know, you got the time stop ability, which that in itself make you create level design for you to run on. Like, bro, this game got it, low-key. This game got it. I can't even lie. I can't really find any faults here. I really can't. But after the first level, you get to fight the Bio Lizard, and I mean, I'm not hating. Like, don't take that the wrong way. I'm not hating. Like, it's actually a great boss fight. It's just Bio Lizard. I played it before. Heck, I played it on the 3DS. It's actually kind of similar to the original and the 3DS version, at least with that first portion. Once he grows some extra limbs, that's when the boss gets different and, you know, pretty cool. And again, cinematic as hell. You also got some stage dialogue, which is always good. It's actually going to be good in this game because, you know, it's not Forces with the fucking goddamn cringe lines and whatnot. So in-stage dialogue is back and it's going to be great. So I'm here for that as well. And I think that's gonna be it. I basically covered all the points that I mainly wanted to go over, like the actual level design itself, the alternate paths, the chaos control mechanic, the cinematics, the overall jump in quality with the HUD and animations, just everything. Just everything. It looks good. Like, sure, it's rehashed environments again, but it's an environment we haven't seen rehashed before, or we haven't seen rehashed in a minute. It's not fucking Green Hill, Chemical Plant, or Sky Sanctuary for the 13,000th time. Like, bro, so far, I love everything about this game. Not to mention the whole white space thing and how that already sounds like they're doing the open zone concept better than it was in Frontiers. Like, come on, bro. Like, this game is finna be a W. This game is finna be a W. But, that's gonna be it for me. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, drop a like. And if you're new, consider subbing to the channel. We're on the road to 600. Let me know what you guys think about Sonic X Shadow Generations. What do you think of the level design? Do you think it's like Forces? Or do you think it's more like Gens, Unleashed, heck, even Colors in some instances? Let me know. But until the next video, peace.